Good morning. It's been a minute. Damn, I don't know when the last time did we.
It might have been.
It was a Friday. I know it's been over a week. Well, anyways, this is but just in case you don't recognize or you're shocked to hear this voice. This is Big Game James, and this is Big Games BS, part of Den Media Group, brought to you by thehumidor.com and ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Um, the summer's coming. You need to get you some ice cold whatever beer that you're drinking now because you're protesting or you're supporting. You need to go grab that and then make sure it's chill. Like Pops, Denny's dad likes Miller Lite, and he likes his Miller Lite so cold that it's got like little frost chips in it. And I never understood why he would like that until July 4th, about before quarantine. So probably about quarantine just 3 years ago, 3 years removed, or this is the third year, or whatever. However, it said quarantine was 2000, whatever the fuck. 2020, excuse me, not 2000, 2020. But I was sitting on the porch and I was like, man, I'm gonna go to ABC. And I got me some goddamn Miller Lite. It was frosty. It was a hot day. And you know what? I was refreshed. So be like Pops and go to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits to do that. Also go to thehumidor.com. If you're into buying boxes, type in Godfather code. Uh-oh. Who does that say?
Damian.
Oh, shoot. That's what I'm talking about. Damien, high five, bro. Don't know what level membership you are, but we appreciate you becoming a member. That gets us closer to our goal. Remember, we have the memberships and, different levels have different perks. All in gives you the party like big game lifestyle. So basically, whatever I do, you get to do. In fact, if you sign up by June for the all-in membership, I'm gonna get you a ticket. You're gonna literally party like I party for Labor Day, LSU. You got to be in the all-in level. Every member that's in all-in, I got you one ticket. I got you tailgate passes. And trust me, the ticket that I'm probably gonna get you, if it works out the way it's supposed to work out, it's gonna be, we live the sweet life in my life. We don't do anything half-assed around here. So, anyways, but going back to what I was saying, buy ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Go to thehumidor.com. Type in, I think it's The Godfather is the code on your box. And you can buy your cigars the same way that I buy my cigars for the greatest cigar lounge in America. Goodfellas. What is that? That thing in the back, like a snake. I know it's not a snake, but you see, like right there. Wait a minute. Is that my left? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I was just saying, it's just in the camera. I didn't know what the hell that was, man. I was like, it's not moving, so that's a good thing. So there wasn't no harm to come my way. But inside the world's greatest cigar lounge, we're having a draft party here Thursday. We'll have all kinds of stuff. Friday we'll have my guy Eric Carter. Saturday, Saxy Pierre will be here. Probably gonna bring my mama and them over here. After the New Edition concert and shit or whatever is going on. I'm telling you, it's a vibe. It's an entire vibe. Smoky, but it's not that bad, especially when the weather's good. Outdoor space is good. But anyways, this week I'm gonna be working. They're gonna get it up out of me. So today we're doing this. Tonight I got something. I got Mark Rogers tonight, so make sure you check me out on Mark Rogers. Thursday I won't be on Sporadics with Chris Frazier because I'll be doing draft coverage. I have a 7 o'clock. You got that thing, Miles? So this is how your boy living right now. Your boy is something because they ain't just saying we're gonna have analyst James Coleman on First Coast News. I am on a fucking banner. Like, boom, you see that? Like, I had to come in to take that photo. Like they got the whole chest out. I should have unbuttoned one more button. Let them know. This is your boy that made Carmen's son that made it. So I'll be tomorrow, 7 p.m. Our draft preview show. I'll be up there the entire fucking time, which I'm not happy about. And then after that, at about 11 p.m., maybe midnight actually, because when the draft is over, we immediately go to news, and we have to break down the Jags draft. And so it could be a plethora of other things. If the Jags trade back, that really just makes my life even harder, because then I have to explain why they did that. And that's one of the rumors that are coming out. And I'm going to be honest with you, nobody knows the Jags. Like, a lot of stuff could just really be explained. Jags do Jag shit. And it's worked 2 times in the past 15 years. But hopefully it'll work again, because I think they got enough talent and a good enough coach. But we got that. So on a Friday night, I'll be on the 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock news, breaking down Friday's draft picks, and then I'll be on Sunday Sports Final. But going back to what we need to get to so we can show the video, I need y'all to go buy the tickets for the tailgate. So again, Labor Day, it's gonna be lit. If you don't want to do the all-in package, it's $60. All you can eat, all you can drink. It's gonna be an entire vibe. We'll have 5 lots, 4 DJs, kids lot with a game truck, possibly a bounce house, and juices and shit, since y'all really got on me about not fucking having kids beverages and not being tailgate friendly for a kid enough. I said it's friendly for my kids. My kids would know how to act. I can't tell you what y'all kids are going to do. Our house is funded by alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. But I will make it more kid friendly, because I'm probably going to it's going to be hot as shit. I'm going to want to go in there in the video game truck too, because video game trucks have air conditioning. We're going to have, though, I should, give me the beginning of May. I should have everything set up for how many parking spots that we're going to have, what the price for the park, because they got to give me the price for the parking spots. Contrary to popular belief, we don't make money off of parking. That's Miss Katie's thing, and Miss Katie just makes sure that, we have as much parking as possible. So as long as y'all willing to pay for it, Miss Katie's willing to do the thing. But I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere in the realm of, like, she charged, I think, $100 for the game last time. I think she's going to charge $150 this go around. So we'll let y'all. I'll make sure you guys are aware of what the fuck's going on with that. But mainly, if you don't have a tailgate ticket, don't you dare ask me for a parking ticket. It's not how this works. Parking passes are for people who are supporting the tailgate, and the parking will be immaculate. It'll be right there. So one thing I've never been, and this is, I need to preface this, because a lot of people look at some of my comments and don't understand them. I have never been a hater in my life. In fact, I forgot what the rapper's name was, but Big Sean King, former quarterback for the Bucks, blessed me with this bar when I covered my first Super Bowl in Tampa. If I ever go to bed hating on another man, my prayers that I don't wake up. So I never hate. I'll critique all day. I never hate. Point blank, especially if it's somebody who I bled and sweat with. This is a picture of my teammate, Derek Nicholson. I came in the same recruiting class as his brother, AJ. Derek has been going through the ringer with coaching. I've seen his growth, love what he's doing. He's at the University of Miami, though. So that's a big old ibis on his shirt. It bothers me a little bit. But my guy, Derek, called me, said, James, I'm headed up to you. I'm at your school. Where you at? I said, bet. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Hopped in my truck, stopped everything that I was doing, went down to go put eyes on my teammate. Now, I want y'all to see this. This is how James operates. Miami coach comes on Mandarin's campus. You know what he does? He calls the guy that he knows that's connected with Mandarin High School. And the guy who's connected with Mandarin High School stops everything he's doing and drives down. You know what Florida State does when they come on campus? I don't never get no call. Nobody tells me shit. I'm willing to do it, guys. Like, look, that's me. They ain't seen me at Mandarin. Well, Toby has, the head coach, because that's my son's godfather, and we communicate. But the kids was like, damn, coach, what you doing up here? Hey, we met one of your guys, Derek Nichols. He was telling some stories about you. And I'm like, well, that's why I came up here. I ain't come up here for y'all motherfuckers. I see y'all May 1st. or May 2nd now because I got to work. I got to go do some stuff. I got some stuff on May 1st. But my point in all of this is relationships matter. He ain't getting Jamie French. I can tell you that without a shadow of a doubt. But if I can help him get some other guys because of who he is, I'm going to help him get some other people. So that's what was going on. A lot has gone on in the last week and a half. We could do a 5-hour show, but we're not. We're going to try to keep this bitch to an hour because people got shit to do. But there are some things that are important. Twitter Spaces. I don't know if anybody knows this, but there is a pattern that's very disturbing of grown-ass men that go on social media and literally bicker and argue all day. But they've been doing it with words. Now, Twitter gave everybody a voice. Twitter Spaces is basically what I'm doing right now, but you could get with a bunch of your different friends, and there's sometimes 400 or 500 people, and nobody has, like, I got a friend, Sam, who got famous off of this shit. It was kind of cool, but like now Sam is looking for that same fire. He did fire Coach Norvell Spaces after we lost Travis Hunter. And I mean, it was like thousands. Coaches were, even Coach Norvell jumped into space. And like now, every time Sam talks, it's like you hit it. You hit home. That was a hit right there. But you ever seen like that rapper that tries to make the same hit over and over again? Yeah, like some of the shit, I'll be like, Sam, dog, I know you smarter than that. Like, I know that's not, you're just trying to hit the ant pile and you got to let it come to you, bro. Like, you don't got to just, like, because what happens is when you just start saying random shit, like one of the most random things, and we'll get into the Colorado shit here in a second. He said that people hate Deion, black people hate Deion because he acts like a white coach. I don't know, but I can tell you this. I have never heard Deion Sanders acts white in my life. In my entire life, I have never heard that. In fact, it might be the complete opposite.
He's almost cartoonishly black.
Like this man, and I'm going to get into Deion. This isn't about Deion this part because Deion's the next segment. But let me tell you, I would do this sometimes. Like I've never been a hater. I've never been a hater, but I will critique something, even if I don't like you. I can appreciate if you're good at what you do. Deion went through the entire city of Boulder, Colorado when he first got there, looking for grits. And you know what? I can empathize with that. I would probably do the exact same thing. I have gone on trips in foreign countries and been upset because I could not find grits. But to say that Deion Sanders isn't black enough and that's why black people hate him is really just you searching for you searching for engagement, because that's the complete fucking opposite. I don't, sometimes I just have to. I just mute some people, but because I love people, like the guys I really like, to avoid, because the other side of the fence is that people with the strongest opinions have the thinnest skins, and they'll think that you don't like them because you have an opinion about what they're doing. If I didn't have an opinion, I probably don't like you. I can promise you that. There's a lot of people I don't care enough to like, unless it's just something really egregious that comes across my timeline. Like sometimes I see the women, why is a man taking selfies? Why is a man eating ice cream? Like, why is a man, like some of those are so egregious that I have to say something. But for the most part, I'm just like, all right, man, I love you enough to mute the conversation. So anyways, I go to this to say Spaces is crazy. And it's where men go to hide. So last week, you weren't here, Miles. I get very upset and tired of people boasting, in particular Miami fans. So Miami fans come up there and they're talking shit. And I'm like, they're like, and they'll make bets for things that don't make any sense. So like they can't beat us on the field, so they're making bets about recruiting classes. And I said, they're like, well, we'll have a top 5 recruiting class. So I said, bet, no doubt. I saw him going back and forth. And then the man challenged FSU's manhood. Ain't nobody at FSU trying to bet that. So I said, bet. I bet you. I will bet you that if you take this bet, it's a double bet. I bet you your money for that. And then I'm going to bet you the FSU Miami game on the field. I said, but I can't bet you $100. So I bet my guy X. X is the guy we talked about. He's got the throat. He's got the little thing. It's just amazing when you listen to people talk on these things. He's doing really good. I don't like to talk like that. But for him to go on Spaces for hours, do a podcast, talk, because it's like, he'd be like, I was in Miami. We were on the Spaces together. And we were talking. It was great. The one that we did with Florida State. Shout out to Pete the Greek. But it was like, I got this bet with 3-6. And it's going on, and we're going to do this and that. And then we're going to do that. And I'm just like, where's the air? Like, what? So then I realized, like, he's got to take a massive gasp between each sentence. Like, he's really getting after it. Like that's just too much. Like, I'd be tired. I'm going to literally be exhausted after this show. People think I'm funny, but I'm going to be exhausted for talking to myself for an hour. Then I got to go be a dad. I got to do all this other shit. Like, I don't get it. But the thing was throwing me off. So I was like, yeah, DOC. But DOC don't have it. Like, he legitimately has like a white strip, but he don't do that. But like, because that's what they used to show us, like the ladies with the smoking that be smoking, like, but like he has like a little white strip on there. And I was more impressed listening to him. And then when I see the amount of volume of work that they do, knowing that very few people make money in podcasts, that is a lot. So again, these people are going on Spaces for free. That's the part that really drives me. And all it is yelling and cussing. So they go in and I make this bet, right? I said, I'm gonna bet you $1,000. X, you claim you got money, 1,000 on recruiting, 1,000 on the game. Bet it up and shut it up. Then somebody comes in, my guy AJ, who is I think he's a man, the man of your dreams or something like shit on Twitter or whatever. He quote tweets, FSU fans ain't doing blue, blah, 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 blah. I said, hey, better shut the fuck up. That's basically what I said. So you want to bet? He's like, I bet you $500 that y'all won't win. And I stopped reading. All I saw was 500. I said, nah, man, 500 is not enough. Let's bet 2,000. Like, do that. And then I'll see your bet. I didn't realize which game he talked about. This game, I actually I'm a little nervous about this one. I would have paid, but I'm glad he backed it out to $500 because the LSU game is going to be tough. But he bet the LSU game. And I said, this is people talk so much about statistics. The fatherless generation. 70, I think it was like 80% of all black males in prison come from a single parent home, and 76% of African Americans are raised in single parent homes. But I don't really, jail is a choice. People get jammed up, yes, but for the most part, in a general stage, that's a choice. But the bitch assness that men are doing right now these days is what's really bothering. This man ran to his Spaces to talk about my bet. And they were talking about me in Spaces that I would not have known. So I'm getting ran through the mud. And you know who calls me in the petty pilgrim that he is, and I love him, Chris Frazier with Sporadics. He sends me a text, hey man, they're talking about you in Spaces. And I ain't doing shit. We didn't record last week. So I said, bet. Fuck that. Boom, put it in there. And I pushed the speaker tab. It's all Spaces. Then, oh shit. That guy I talked to, I said, how dare you run the Spaces and discuss me? Either make the fucking bet or don't make the fucking bet. It doesn't make me any. And then, then there comes this black male thing that we all have to do with, I got money. I got, how you put bluffing, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, listen, dog, trust me. Go ask people on the timeline. We can make this bet. I'll be good for it. I don't know if you have it, but I'm like, look at the shoes. I was like, there's literally a shoe that is more than any bet that I'll make, for the most part, unless I'm bumming with, I think I have a pair of knockoff Crocs, might be the cheapest shoes, but they're comfortable. And I like wearing them. They're like sandals, but I need real Crocs too. But anyways, So they go into spaces, they do this stuff, they gossip and do these different things. But spaces is something new. Every day, a Miami fan has like a 24-hour space up there. If you just ain't got nothing to do and you want to listen to things and you're tired of listening to me, just go check out a space. Spaces go through and through with all of these different things. So I'm going into this to say there's been spaces 24/7 ever since past Saturday with Colorado. Colorado had their spring game. It was the most well-orchestrated bullshit that I've ever seen in my life. Complete with commentators jerking off and just gasping about all the mid that we saw. I'm one of the ones that will tell you the truth about spring games in general. Spring games are kindergarten graduation. But there were some great things that went on. Like one, if you're looking at this, you have that up. To sell out a spring game, no matter how many seats your stadium, or almost, I think Colorado seats about 60,000. Oh, let me make sure I'm telling you this right, because I have the actual numbers of what everybody sold. Football. Even if they didn't sell it out, that's incredible. Folsom Field. No, you're right. Folsom Field seats 53,000. They had over 53,000 people on a day where it snowed. There was like 3 inches of snow. Like they had to actually plow the fields before the game started, which is impressive. They went out there, they had some things, but what we saw was just really bad football or big plays, whatever way you want to put it. Deion Sanders has captured the imagination or polarized bases, depending on which way you feel about it. But one of the things that Deion said when he came in there, he says, I'm bringing my own luggage. Basically, if you're here, don't get comfortable, I'm kicking you the fuck out. He's done all kinds of different things that are just like wild, like having a fur coat and boots in a weight room and kicking out a kid out who's in full athletic gear, but he wears white socks, and they're supposed to wear black socks. And I get it. Do as I say, not as I do. But one of the things that has made a mass exodus happen is people felt that cold, and they felt the coldness from their coach, and they're bouncing. But Deion did say, I want everybody, like, everybody's not going to be here. Well, what I don't think people anticipated was for him to boot guys that he brought over. So 2 of Jackson State players actually got sent home. That's kind of weird. Colorado had a major decommit in this kid right here, 4-star cornerback Juwan Johnson, and he's in class of 2024. So they took a little hit right there. They have had the player who was the star of the show. Was it Lamonius Craig, Montana? That dude, that's the first thing I said. There is some names out there, boy. But he was the star of the Colorado spring game. This man entered the transfer portal the minute his cleats, he didn't even hang his uniform before he entered the transfer portal. And 46 Colorado players have transferred this offseason. This was on the 25th. So it's more now. They just had 20 players hit the transfer portal from this past spring that were on the roster in this spring. Deion had, on this tweet from 247 Sports, 20 returners from 2022. The exodus from the guy Chris Hummer is historic, expected, and risky. But you know who doesn't see anything crazy about this? Blind Deion fans. You know, if anybody's going to be successful, it's going to be Deion. And it's like you can put logic And I think Deion success at Colorado isn't like success at everywhere else. You win 5, like people are like, if he can win 5 games, I'm like, well, if you point me to 5 wins he can get, but if he can win 5 games, he should leave. Not just with what he brought in, but what they had before. And for people to say he's getting rid of this many people off of a 1-11 roster, I have news for you. Not every player on that roster was that bad. Like, yes, they were a part of it. Things happen. You should not lose that many games. That's why coaches get fired. But if you truly believe that having 71 scholarship players on your roster by the end of April with a season to be played in September is optimal, then I've got oceanfront property in Colorado to sell you. Like at a certain point, even if you are a true Deion fan and you want to see Deion be successful, which I don't think anybody wants Deion to not be successful, one has to step back and say, this is not optimal. The optics look bad. At least saying the optics look bad. The problem is a lot of you guys don't understand that the lack of critique is not showing support. It's enabling him. And you should, at minimum, be able to say, hey, man, that's wild. You know, I want you to be successful, but I got to admit that's a little wild. You're wilding out right now. But somewhere in this whole world that we live in now, we have a fear of telling people the truth, even when we like them. And here's one of the biggest things. Zachary Courtney, a guy who Deion Sanders told to enter the transfer portal, per him. For coaches who are trying to recruit me, I am sorry, but I will not be able to get y'all my film from my practices last season since I am not allowed to have it because the head coach at Colorado won't allow it. This is very unlucky, and if you have any questions, just text me. Said this is not a shot at Deion. I just wanted the coaches to know I have no film for them. And you know who's riding his dick in these comments? Deion's dick. They're blaming the kid for doing what Deion told him to do. And Deion's not letting the kid. This is some jilted lover ass shit. Be with me that nobody can have you, even if I don't want you. You out here telling kids to leave and then preventing them from leaving. Like, dummy, they stay on your scholarship count if he can't go anywhere. Like, the best thing you can do is help the kid leave. I guess if I understood, I would have. But just look at, oh man, those players suck off of a 111 team. Man, Lamonius got 19 offers when he hit that portal. Auburn, Penn State, Mississippi State, West Virginia, UCF, BYU, Arizona, Oregon State, and Cincinnati are among the few programs. Man, that's like when you tell your girl you can't leave, you ain't gonna ever find better than me, and she find better than you, boy, that is a gut punch. Motherfucker found better than Colorado in less than 24 hours. Because the reality is a lot of these guys weren't sorry. They just were in a bad scheme or injuries happened. I don't really know why Colorado was 1-11. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And I want us to really step back and look at this. To make this a black thing is retarded. And I'm sorry, I know that word is strong for some people, but this is using it in the right sense. It is stunting the growth of the mental growth and development. Because do you know who Colorado's coach was before that? A black man. Do you know who Colorado's coach before that was? A black man. And you know what us as a collective nation was doing, was thinking about with Colorado when those other 2 black men were there? We weren't thinking a goddamn thing about Colorado because nobody cares about Colorado but Colorado. So miss me with all the extra bullshit and the pomp and circumstance that you guys have for Deion Sanders. Because if you do, just do what your coach says. We come and sit back and watch this thing unfold right before your eyes. To all our true Buffs fans, we love you and appreciate you. To the rest, stay tuned and keep talking. We see you and we still coming. I keep receipts. Any coach who's busy enough, who ain't busy enough, who's can keep receipts is a coach that's social media driven. And you know what y'all say about these jits? Stay off of social media. That's what y'all need to go tell y'all coach. The two players that came from JSU that are in the portal, Zion McGalley and Tavion Beasley, who was a 4-star corner who came over to Jackson State. Oh, snap. Oh, man, this is crazy. My running back just got his first offer.
Hey.
My running back, that's what I'm, man, woo. Shout out to Tion Weiss. More to come. Shout out to Albany State for having nuts to offer. You know what's crazy about this? Sorry, this is breaking news. What's crazy about this is that there are big schools that are G5 schools afraid to offer him because they say they know he ain't going to be there. Because somebody better is going to come. And I'm like, well, but what if he doesn't get nobody better? Like, bitch, offer now. College recruiting is one of the freakiest, crazy things in the world. And everybody right now is backing a coach who is literally pushing and doing. I'm gonna read this to you because a guy, this is an FSU fan, bothers me because I like capitalism. I love capitalism. My man Mark says we are witnessing the implosion of college sports as we know it. Between the portal and the NIL, I'm not sure what's worse. But then they'll go say I want Deion to be successful. Who's using the portal and NIL. He's pushing kids. He's like, Deion is literally doing all the evil in what you think the world is doing. But yet you're praising the adult and bashing the kids who are now having the first access to true freedom that they've ever had in this sport. And the reality is, the beautiful thing about freedom is freedom does not prevent you from freedom of consequences. Every choice has a consequence. That's why there's 3,000 kids in the portal right now. But Deion is Deion, and y'all love Deion, and Deion can do no wrong. But the kids are in the wrong, except for the ones that Deion gets, or except for the ones that your school gets. And name, image, and likeness is a thing that Florida State fans cried about because it's now affecting us in a manner in which everybody doesn't know just to let the thing play out. Florida State was having a really, really good day in terms of just social media on Monday. It was like one of those things where, you know, even the last 2 days, like yesterday, 247 put out their top 32 college football players in 2023. You know what Florida State has? 3 players on that list. Jared Verse, Jordan Travis, and Kalen DeLoach. I think we have the most players on that list of any other school. I think Georgia has 2. It's a really good thing. It has some really good things to say about our players. Another thing came out, a poll. 3.4 million college football fans identified as FSU fans, including 2.4 million in the South, the third highest total in the region, and the only ACC team above 1.5 million. Logo holds weight. So again, just we the best, as DJ Khaled would say. The South is where, I mean, Alabama and Georgia, the only ones that nudged us out. You got all of that good stuff. And then off the top rope, a lot of people were caught off guard by it. I wasn't. I was actually a part of this whole situation, and I did a great, well, I think I did a great, and you guys may think it sucks, but I did a live where I kind of talked about this instance of the transfer portal in Colorado a little bit, but Josh Farmer, extremely talented defensive tackle from Gaston High School, just outside of Tallahassee, decided to enter the transfer portal. He's got his reasons. People are starting to put those reasons on other sites. I will not disclose those things because those things don't have anything to do with me. All I can tell you is that it's a personal issue, and one of the things that I think, for whatever reason, fans of a sport like capitalism, except for when it comes to the athlete. And I will never understand that. Why is it cool for the teams or the schools to participate in the foundation of what our country was made? And anytime an athlete does it, it becomes a really, really bad thing. Might not work out for us. It might still work out because they're still in negotiations. But I always ask people, if you were working for, a lot of you guys who make these comments, I know where you're working at. You're in a job that you hate. Let's just be honest. Most Americans hate their job. If somebody came to you for the same job that you have right now and offered you $60,000 to $100,000 more than what you're currently making, are you going to be loyal to the company that first gave you that shot, that gave you that job to be able to pay your bills for however long you've been paying your bills? Are you going to think about that then? I already know what you're going to think about. You're going to think about getting that extra bag. So why is it wrong for the kid of your favorite, outside of it being your favorite team? I think you go to the well as many times as you can until you can't. Negotiation is a part of life. If you haven't had the opportunity to participate in capitalism, I encourage you to do it. You won't know until you know. Now, granted, that's me defending the athlete. I have no problem with what the athlete's doing. I also have no problem with what Florida State's doing, or Battles Inn is allegedly doing, or whatever it is doing. It's hard to manufacture new marketing deals. We agreed to something, you do it or you don't. It's not my problem for what's happening in your personal life. That's coming from a guy who's had employees. Like, I can't be held accountable. Like, if you could go get a new job, go get a new job. Now, the problem is when all of this comes, when you do get a new job, it takes a minute to get paid. Now with this job, you have to actually move. And there's a lot of other things that come into it. So but to see some of the vitriol that people are having, I just don't understand your life. The only people who could bitch about this are the people who have been on their jobs for 25 to 30 years and never left. And even then, if you're like still the janitor at that level, like, I don't even want to say I'd call you a sucker, but like at the same time, I'd be like, hey, bro, like, you probably could have done more with your life. Don't get mad at the people who are doing more with their life because you chose to not. Like, now, what I will say is this, though. The boy did get blessed when he was here, because if you're looking at this screen, that's what Josh Farmer looks like now. Ain't nothing wrong with a little belly when you're a D tackle. But is this one right now? Mm-hmm. This is what Josh looked like when he committed to Florida State. That don't even look like the same child. Like, that's January 1st. I think, shout out to Zach Bluestein. This is January 2020. Right? Yeah. And this is March 2023. That's a lot going on. That's a lot that happened, man. Boy got huge, got more powerful, grew into him. Boy hit puberty. So I get why Florida State would be mad at all of this shit and why they also just haven't turned their cheek. Like, this is the reality, man. Oh, this is the reality of sports. I hate it. I just, you can't even recruit kids anymore. Nobody's loyal. Says the guy who's on his third wife. Guy's had 10 jobs. Like, how dare some of y'all don't, man, listen, these kids should be cursing you guys out in the comments. How dare you talk to me about loyalty? And you ain't been loyal to nothing a day in your goddamn life. Some of y'all are so loyal. Your parents are in nursing homes. Like, you ain't loyal to nothing or anybody, but you're preaching to a kid about loyalty? Who really is doing in his head? Not saying it's right or wrong. And he's doing what's best for his family. I will never argue with somebody who says they're doing something for their family. I may have I have a critique. I may not think it's smart. I may not think it's the best move, but I will never have a problem with what he's doing. Again, things that y'all can't seem to do for other people, I can do without any issues. Moving me into the next thing, it's just about, because really the thing that a lot of you know really hates it, it's the black people who look like Samuel L. Jackson and Django, and a lot of white people who are mad at their life. But these same people hate LeBron James and hate what he's been able to do and taking care of his family. And a guy who, I don't know if you were paying attention to this in Puerto Rico, Miles, who decided to poke the bear on Saturday. Dillon Brooks told the world that LeBron James ain't really that good. I only respect guys who put up 40 points. And I needed a challenge guarding him. Morant is telling people we good in the West. It was just 1-1 then. Well, now it's 3-1 because they pissed off LeBron. And there's a video I want you to come. So yeah, this is the guy right here. One, I don't really know what's going on. This is why I say what I say about it.
Oh, that's not his. Oh,
yeah, that's not his eyebrow. That's his. Just he looks like a bruised banana. But this is why I talk about clear skin, clear complected people the way I do. Nobody, just you people in dreams, you like, no, that's light skin. I am nowhere near that. I have never been that light. There are parts of my body that have probably never seen the sun that are not that light. So let's not ever put me, and these type of people operate in emotions. I don't know if like the pigment is still trapped on the inside. It hasn't made it to the outside yet. But like, this is Dillon Brooks. This is the guy who decided that he wanted to challenge. I don't believe there's one GOAT, but a GOAT. If you don't like LeBron James, you just don't like him because they're comparing him to your favorite player. But at this point, if you are over the age of 35, I implore you to go play a pickup basketball game and try to do what LeBron James is doing. My knees ache for him, and we're the same age. I couldn't be. This man is more elite now than most players who have ever put on an NBA uniform.
Right.
But there's a video of LeBron, coming over there and talk. But is this showing?
No.
Okay, but like, again, that's the guy who just talks shit, who just made that just shot that ball. So wide open. Missed it. Air ball. Like, this is the guys who are talking shit. And the people are like, they would never talk about MJ like that. And I said, you're right. Michael Jordan was never in the playoffs in year 20. Nobody feared Washington Wizards Michael Jordan. I can tell you guys that I was alive then. But like, now this is the face of Memphis on the verge of elimination tonight with Dylan Brooks looking like an evil villain in like some DC universe. Mad. If I was John Morant, I'd be so mad at this light-skinned motherfucker for making my life harder. It's like now I question everything about John Morant. John, I was a huge fan. Nothing wrong with going to a strip club and blowing your money. That's again, I believe in capitalism. I believe in heterosexual pride. I also believe in my Second Amendment, even though we need to get you a bigger gun. All that tough talk, and now when it's time, you guys are nowhere to be found. LeBron is 38 years old and 120 days. That is like being hooped up by a 60-year-old in real life. And in the video, LeBron goes over and approaches Dylan Brooks. No, it's in there somewhere. LeBron goes and approaches Dylan. And that's it. He has a little conversation with him. Sometimes that's what we got to do as OGs. Just got to talk to these young whippersnappers. And he goes over there and says, "Hey, this is a joke, I believe. I don't think he really said that." So like somebody comes over there and they put captions on it what LeBron says, and then he dunks it, which again, LeBron says, just to let you know, you cause many problems. Your crazy ass ain't doing nothing but causing problems. You know nothing. You ain't ready for this. Make some shots. Do your job. But I don't think that was what was said. But if you're looking at this was the moment that the light-skinnedness in Dylan Brooks cheesed up. And he said, damn, I'd have made this motherfucker mad. And what he did was LeBron probably went over there and said what I said earlier. Listen here, you little bruised ass looking banana. Bitch, I've seen bigger dummies than you. Your ass ain't Lance Stevenson. Your ass ain't the ugly motherfucker from Golden State. Bitch, I'm finna make your life miserable. That's what LeBron said to him. And Dylan cheesed up. Like the warm-ups, he was bricking. Like you're supposed to make the shots in warm-ups. I really don't know if Dylan Brooks is any good anymore because like the way they had him talking, like I thought this man was the shit. All he did was set the stage for LeBron to be able to do more. Now, one of the cool things, and again, it can continue to enhance LeBron's legacy because I don't give a fuck what you say. If they somehow make the finals, LA, that's 11 times in the finals. Like, that's not 11 times in the playoffs. It's 11 times in the finals. Everybody talks about MJ in his 6, right? And that's impressive. Nobody talks about MJ being 0-6 versus Bird in the playoffs, getting his ass whooped, being below 500 the first few years before he got Scottie Pippen. MJ played 18 years, I believe. And nobody talks about how 12 of those years he was a great player on a mid team. LeBron is a great player where excellence follows. And the way he's playing now, he actually probably could extend his career by another 4 or 5 years by becoming a point guard, basically. It's all about legacy. But when you think about legacy, it's how you want to end it. And when I think about legacy, like I just saw something with Phil Knight. Phil Knight is doing the dopest thing that I believe could help rapidly expedite true equality. Nike co-founder Phil Knight is contributing $400 million to a new investment fund for the Black community in Portland. The 1803 fund will rebuild, Albina, a historically Black neighborhood that has been displaced by new construction since the 1960s. If you really think about it, if a lot of people went back and like you got the Tulsas, You got Jacksonville had its own race riots that were destroyed. Like actually, with much of downtown used to be, it still is a lot of black people, but it used to be one of the, like a lot more black people. But if you think about like Rosewood, Florida, right, not far from Gainesville. If you think about a lot of these different places, if they're so when people say, why don't y'all build your own? There's again, this is where what Ron DeSantis and some people are truly fighting. Like there are historical instances where we did go out and do our own thing. And guess what? It was met with violent resistance. Like it pissed black people. Nothing makes, historically speaking, because again, go look it up, makes, not all. Again, I know some of you white people love to say it's not me. It's a generality we're speaking in. But nothing makes white people more upset than black people minding their own fucking business and being prosperous. That's why I really think Phil Knight now. And I was talking to my friend about Toby, my white guy. I was like, this isn't a racial thing. This is just the truth. Most of the 1% in America are white, are old white men. That's just a thing. You can't help that. It's how America was built. But name me one in the history have you seen them be philanthropic? And Toby said something that was like philanthropic without wanting anything in return. And Toby gave me the best retort that I've ever heard about that. And he said that's when they're about to die. When they're on their way out, that's when you see a lot of money go to these museums, libraries, like Carnegie Hall, like a lot of these different things. So, I mean, Phil Knight has been old for a long time, but I think regardless of what the reasons are, I think it's dope. It's better than what a lot of people are doing. Legacy is an important thing. Sometimes people don't really realize that until it's too late, but this lady is looking out for her legacy and carving it in the way that she feels is in God's image. And it's every Catholic boy's dream. There's a young lady, I think she's young, who is now, because she was a Catholic school teacher. She quit her job to now become a porn star. And I'm not even gonna hold you. She's actually attractive. Ooh. Well, that's interesting with the bunny fit on. She's thick too. Oh my goodness. She's 36 years old. Like none of my teachers look like 36 in the early 90s. You might as well have been dead. Like they don't look like these grandmas are thought. That's why these girls is. I feel hard. I don't know what my sons are gonna do, man. I can tell you this much. I gotta teach them the game. We gotta teach them pimping around this motherfucker because shit, it is a lot of hoeing going on around these parts, man. Like, and she's got her OnlyFans, and she said God told her this. This is the path that God told her to do.
You gotta bring God into God. No,
you know who brings God into everything? Deion. I got people just. This is my thoughts right now. When people tell me I'm going to pray on it, you're going to do whatever the fuck you want to do, and you're going to just sprinkle God on it.
Yeah.
And just think that's going to be okay. Think I'm going to be okay with that. You talk to yourself. That's who you talk to. God didn't have anything to do with that. A lot of times, God is way too busy wondering if your titties are looking nice on OnlyFans. But nonetheless, the kids are going to love it. And I think, football coaches always give the best advice sometimes. And Oklahoma's football coach, I think this was like when I really sit back and think about it, I think this is what his advice to her would be in Brent Venables. So if you go to that pregame speech, it just kind of go fast, like kind of slide the bar a little bit to the end. It's the second one. Yeah, that one. And just slide it about right there, I think. It just push pause on that. So I want you guys to just, if you're a woman, you're listening to this show, if you're a woman in general, even if you're not thinking about doing your OnlyFans, if you just want some bedroom advice, listen to Brent. OG Brent Venables is going to tell you the truth. This is what you need to do. This will help you make content and make a man happier. Let's see what Brent's talking about.
As we transition from one conference to the other, as we navigate our last season in the Big 12, I need you to tighten the grip.
That's all you got to do.
Lock your hands. Lock your hands. Tighten that grip.
Tighten the grip. Whether you bless it orally or vaginally or just tighten the grip. You hear Brett. Brett is telling you the truth. And that's just what make, and God will bless your OnlyFans account if you could just tighten the grip.
Everybody thought this.
Brent Venables has also said it's like putting the hose in your mouth and just taking it all in. Earlier, like on God. Right, go listen. He said Brent Venables is the king of saying questionable shit. Again, just because some of you ladies have deep dish vaginas, tighten the grip. Get you some kegels. But I'm gonna leave you with this. One of the things that I've seen, and this can really explain everything, is that one, people are afraid of change. And I'm starting to firmly believe all the hidden secrets of life are hidden in movies. Before Will Smith became infected by the stot, like she firmly got a grip on him now. But when Will Smith used to realized he was one of the baddest men in America, he made this movie called Men in Black. With another with another great actor, Tommy Lee. And Tommy Lee's straight giving some old man wisdom here. And you know, there's some other stuff that goes in it, but just check this out. Listen to what Tommy's got to say.
Humans, for the most part, don't have a clue. They don't want one or need one either. They're happy. They think they have a good lead on things.
But why the big secret? People are smart. They can handle it.
A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. 1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat. And 15 minutes ago, you knew that people were alone on this planet. Imagine what you know tomorrow. Humans, for the most part, don't have a clue. They don't want one or need one.
A lot of people are stupid. And we pretend that we know something in order for acceptance. And the reality is, a lot of times those that know how to keep their mouth shut. And they also have experience. Never have I ever seen us be in a world where people have so little expertise in the world in which they have such strong opinions. We saw it with COVID. One of the funniest things is everybody, you ever notice that every time somebody just passes out, they always said the jab? If you watch the Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis fight, nobody mentioned that, you know, Ryan Garcia has taken the COVID-19 shot. Nobody said, oh, well, he just dropped. That was the vaccine that caused him to drop. I was like, it's a fucking jab. It was a fucking jab that made him take the shot. But what I'm saying is, like, they'll say, oh, well, but people are like, oh, he threw the fight. I'm like, let me punch you on your liver. Say, let me punch you on your solar plexus to see if you ain't taking a knee like Tim Tebow.
That's crazy.
It's just like with my man who while we were gone, he got cleared to play. The dude who almost died on Monday Night Football. And he's really contemplating it. Even though it was a fluke, I just wouldn't test it. But everybody, oh, well, that's what the jab does to you. That COVID-19 hit him right in the heart. COVID-19 killed Harry Belafonte. Not the fact that he was 90 fucking years old. Like, it's just like, I'm just like, again, people arguing. Like, Myron Rolle is a neuroscience surgeon. I don't know shit about this. If Myron Rolle tells me it's cool, I'm cool. My best friend Jamila tells me it's cool. It's cool. I'm not finna argue with a fucking doctor with my history major. I'm not gonna argue with people about NIL stuff who don't know things. I'm not gonna argue with people about how the world is changing who've never never had to do anything in their life to make themselves be extraordinary because you don't know, because you're content and you're convinced by the simplest things because you want to feel good. You want to feel, as Tommy Lee said, you have a good beat on life. But sometimes y'all just need to shut the fuck up and listen to those who do know. And if you have an issue with something, call it out with facts. The only thing I've ever done was call things out with facts. And if somebody presents me with better facts, I typically change my mind. I have no problem changing my mind. But you have to present sound logic and sound facts. On that note, check out, we appreciate, what was it, my man Deion? Shout out to Damian Adams for being our newest member. We need more. We need more people signing up. I think we're like 125 away from 2,000. It feels like forever, but like if we could just get to that point, that would be amazing for me. Appreciate you guys chopping it up with me. Football season can't get here fast enough. See y'all later.